Hello and welcome back to the colony with Man of the Antz. So, as you may have seen in my last Empires of the Undergrowth video, I said I was going to take a look at the Beetle Uprising, so here we are. Now, the reason I'm going to take a look at Beetle Uprising is because, well, two reasons really. One, Slug Disco recently, Slug Disco being the developers of Empires of course, recently took over the publishing role for Beetle Uprising. So Beetle Uprising is a game to do obviously with Beetles, as you may be able to tell from the title. Came out a few years back in early access. Hasn't had an update really for a couple of years, looking at the news page on the game on Steam. But then quite recently, one of the developers, or one or two of the developers at Slug Disco found the game, played it, realised it actually had a really in-depth genetic breeding system, and so liked it so much they contacted the developer, who is Iocane Games, and decided to take on the publishing role. And so they've been trying to push the game a lot more, so they provided me a key to take a look at it, so thank you very much to Slug Disco, that's massively appreciated. And since then the game actually has had a relatively large update as well, which has finished off some of the single player levels, still in early access, but it did have a major patch, so hopefully it's going to be continue to work on going forward. Certainly that's what it seems to come across in the news thing. As I said, the game is about Beetles, but it also has this very deep genetic quality to it. Quality feature is probably a better word, isn't it? And you may be able to tell that from this here, this DNA helix strand in place of the S might give you a bit of a clue what the game's about. So we're going to hit new game. Long and far did the matriarch travel. What a gorgeous beetle, to find us a new home. She fought for our future. Oh, little baby beetles. Oh no, they're not baby beetles. Oh, they're enemies. Oh my god. And it gave her courage. Wave after wave of the enemy fell before her because she is a monster. Look at her just destroying them. When the enemy committed all to the battle, so did she. Wow. She exploded herself to take out the enemy. That's a interesting tactic. That's what I'm going to go with. It's an interesting tactic. So this is the help screen. So we can get here from the escape menu. So you'll start in your home nest. Selective breeding produces things. There are various lots on the map, which you can see in a minute. Missions are an RTS engagement on a 3D map. Quick reference. So yeah, there's a few things here. We won't worry too much about this at the moment. I'll have a quick look at the controls, will I? Nah, we'll figure it out as we go, won't we? Figure it out as we go. And there's a section. Oh, because it opens in the Steam overlay browser. I just saw that pop up. Yeah, so there is a fairly detailed, it seems, HTML-based manual for the game. We're not going to remember that at the moment either, so we're going to close help for now. So the Beetles need items placed in their nest to thrive. Click this button to view your inventory of items. From there you can select the items that will improve your Beetles' happiness and health. So here we have our first two Beetles, Urugupi and Kalsdakat. Beautiful, beautiful. Let's have a look in our inventory. Double click an item and then move the cursor over the ground of the nest. Click again to place the item in the nest. Holding the mouse down and dragging rotates it. Holding the shift allows you to place multiple copies. You can click and drag to do it even faster. So I don't really know why you wouldn't just put everything down straight away. But I'm assuming there's probably a reason. So we'll just put down a lovely little pumpkin seed just over there. So we've got a nest over there, a little nest over there. What does the rope do? Oh, it's a toy, I see. It's a little toy. And then this burlap sack here, very good for rubbing the dust off so they can get all nice and clean. Wonderful. Oh, look at him go. That is actually entirely delightful. That's what that is. So there's the map screen. There's the breeding screen. So I think I'll take a look at the breeding screen. I probably don't breed anything right this moment, but I do want to show you the breeding screen because this is the bread and butter of the game, if you like. So, as you can see, you can choose your two parents. We only have two Beetles, so we're slightly limited in our parent choices, but these are the two Beetles. So you can choose the parents you're going to have. So it seems like it'd be fairly simple. You know, you pick two Beetles, you breed them, and then you get the offspring of them. Where it gets interesting is here. So the game actually has coded into it a proper genetic markup system. So I've actually had to take notes on this so I actually can get the words right. So there's a couple of videos on the Slug Disco YouTube page. You can check those out if you want to see their take on it. So each Beetle has 14 pairs of chromosomes. I don't know how many chromosomes Beetle have in real life. Maybe it's 14, I don't know. 4 of those pairs account for the 7 stats, which are these things here: strength, quickness, regeneration, health, perception, ferocity, and armor. So these are the chromosome pairs that account for those stats. So that means there are an extra 10 pairs of chromosomes that you can't actually see. And they're responsible for things like the actual, the physical look, for example, of the beetle. They assume they do other things as well, I'm not entirely sure. But so the physical look is determined by chromosomes, but you can't actually see them. So that's just sort of more of a randomized thing. So the physical look, the cosmetic chromosomes, are dominant and recessive. So if we breed these two together, we might find that the purple hue of this one is the dominant one, and most of the offspring have that, and then most of their offspring have the purple. You may find that at some point down there, the recessive sort of green spots might come out again. So you might, if you remember from school, your eye colours were always taught as dominant and recessive, which actually isn't entirely true. So my wife tells me, who's doing a PhD, but we won't go into that either. Now these work slightly different. So the obvious thing here is the more little coloured dots there are, the better. Now those are called the alleles. So with these stat ones, they aren't recessive or dominant, they are co-dominant. Co-dominant the right word? That is the right word. So you don't get one that overpowers the other, they're just added together. So the stats for strength, which is what the S here is for this particular beetle here, which I'm assuming is Arugupi, the one on the left, they just add all the little dots together on the left and the right, and then the same for here, and that generates their strength stat. Now there is a little bit different which gets involved, where some of the stats can affect the other ones, but it's quite a minor thing, so we won't go into that for the moment. So these can go up to 6. So the most we've got of any of them at the moment is 3, the yellow markers. It does go up to 6 potentially in each of them. The blue stars indicate what they call unique alleles. So they are the ones where this one here, for example, we only got 2 beetles, so it's a little bit misleading. But this one here, this is the only beetle which has got 3 alleles available in the strength stat for this particular strand. So we may see some here, like the 2s. There's 2 over there and there's 2 over there, so that's not classed as a unique one. So you want to try and keep these blue ones in. So you want to try and breed those and keep those into the offspring. The blue bars on the side show you the highest stat that's available out of all of your beetles. Now again, we've only got the 2, so it's not entirely useful for us at the moment. But as you have more beetles, you'll be able to see what your highest available is, which isn't necessarily a unique one, just the highest available one. And then when you breed these 2, what essentially happens is all of these get randomized up, as in the left and right gets randomized up. There's a little bit more particular to it than that. They get randomized up and then it gets zippered down the middle, and the left half from this one and the right half from this one get stuck together to make your offspring. So if we click over here, it's going to automatically generate us 9 offspring. So you can pick... So you can pick them just purely based on what they look like. So we can see here, interestingly, only 5 of the 9 have the horns, despite the fact that both of those have horns. Now that might suggest that the smooth shell is actually dominant, which is why we've ended up with 4 smooth shells out of the 5, even though both of those must have at least one of the horned chromosomes. Or alleles, I should probably say. Also, we can see that although I made a point of saying that maybe what if the purple's dominant, purple clearly isn't dominant, because only one of them has got the purple sheen, whereas the single colour has won out predominantly across the rest of them. So you can see your general effect on the stats down the bottom here, which is what the game just popped up and told us there, and the little arrows tell you how they compare to the rest of the beetles in your colony. We use the word colony, we like that word. You can, of course, press Control and see all the genetic markup for all of your offspring as well. And as I said, what you really want to try to do as a basic gist, I suppose, is try to look for the blue stars and say, if I've got 2 blue stars over here, strength, if you're going to do attacking, if you want to be an actively aggressive species, I suppose, you want to focus on your strength. So you want to make sure that you keep these 2 stars in there. So we only have 2 offspring who have got those 2 stars, those 2 unique alleles in there still. Looking down here, we've got the 2 stars over here. So this one over here has got the 2 of them. This one here's got the 2 of them. So none of them have got the 2 strength and the 2 regeneration unique alleles. Perception, was it perception? It was perception. We've got 2 over there. So that gets 1 of them. That gets 2 of them. In fact, this one here, I missed this one the first time around. It's got 2 there, 2 there, 2 there. It is missing the ferocity and the armor ones, though. So it's a little bit of this is where we say it gets quite complex. You know, it's not just your simple breed 2, you get an offspring and that's it. You have to specifically, if you want to get really in-depth into the breeding mechanics of the game, this is what you have to be looking at and trying to look out for, combining them together and which ones have got the highest strength stat altogether. Even if not, they may not necessarily have the unique alleles in there, but because they've got a lot on either side of their chromosome pair, they might end up with a high strength stat. You can click these buttons over here, which organizes them by the relevant stats. So if you're focused on strength, you could just organize by strength and say, this guy over here, well, he's got 43 strength. Now I might look at that and say, although he's got 43 strength, his quickness is only 28 compared to this one's 32, and he only loses 1 strength. His regeneration and his regeneration is higher, his health is the same, his perception is only 1 lower. He loses a bit on his ferocity, but he does have a good chunk of armor, particularly compared to our other Beetles as well. So that's interesting. So for now, I was going to say we'll keep him, but no, we're not going to do anything like that now. We're not going to breed anything yet, are we? Are we? Maybe we are. Maybe we are. I'm not going to go with him purely because he looks so similar to Arugupi. And I don't want one which looks the same as Arugupi. So we are going to go with this guy over here, this lovely green one. So he's going to keep this single green, the single colour, rather than this kind of dual colour that's a bit more prevalent over here. That's what I'm going to go with. And obviously he keeps the horns as well, doesn't he? Which is lovely. So we're going to have that. And he's going to be called Aguprana. Wonderful. So, how do we... Oh, there we go, the home button. So here's our new Beetle. So currently, this Beetle isn't very happy. Unsurprisingly. Probably needs a bit of food, probably needs a little bit of love time. Oh, look at that little interaction between them. That's wonderful. The happiness does determine how much they cost to use in a mission, essentially. So goop is your currency. The happier they are, the less it costs to use them in a mission. So that's quite important going forward. So let's have a quick look at the mission screen then, or at the map screen, I should say. So this is where we start in the bottom right corner of the map. This is where our nest is. I'm going to skip through a little bit of this because I kind of picked up on it from this Slug Disco video. Combat mission. So yes, so this is our nest territory. Currently, our nest territory is contested. So we are not welcome here, which is why we have this sword, this combat mission here, so we can take control of this area. Once we've taken control of this area, we can start moving on to the next areas. Also, once we've taken control of it completely, we'll then have access. I don't know if we can do these yet, or we can do them. That's interesting. I didn't think we'd be able to do those until we've taken control, but we do want to do that anyway. So you can discover additional activities, including these forage and scavenge one. Forage obviously gets you some food. Scavenge gets you other little bits and bobs. You know, we had like the toys and the beds and stuff. That's where that's going to come from. And potentially goop as well, I suspect. You can also see here you have a chance of success. So who are we sending out here? Arugupi going out would only have a 65% chance of success. And Kalzdakt would only have 61. Not very high at all, but they would have a much better chance at doing the foraging. But for now, we're going to do the combat mission. That's what we're going to do. Chance of death on failure is 0%. I'm assuming because it's the first mission, so that's lovely. Some possible rewards up there of eggs, food, beds, grooming, and toys. And so this is where you decide what beetle you're going to take out on your mission and how many you're going to take. Now, the number you take determines obviously the cost of taking them out on that mission. And as I said, the happiness of the beetle determines how much they cost. So this one currently costs 4. Gazeldakt costs 3. And Aguprana costs 5. Also not fully grown, so a very bad choice for us. So we can see here, these icons down here show us various things as well. So the ones with the jaws have extra damage against whatever that is, bile spit enemies. And you can see that up here as well, that this kind of advanced rock, paper, scissor option we have up here. So who are we going to take out? Well, I think we're going to take out, because Gazeldakt has got a high strength and average quickness, low health and regeneration though, whereas Arugupi, exactly the opposite. I think we're going to take out Gazeldakt even. I have no idea how many we'll actually need. No idea at all. Should we take out 20? Yeah, why not? Let's take out 20. So once you're in this mode, the beetles will automatically attack any enemies that they come across. This is your swarm of beetles. So you can single click anywhere on the map and they will run around the map. You can use the mouse wheel to zoom in and out. And if you don't want them to attack anything, we can press 1 to make the camera follow them. No, we cannot. That's a lie. Your beetles will automatically attack enemies they are close to. If you double click, they will run over there and they won't attack enemies that they see. You can see some objectives up here. So basically kill all the enemies. Complete all the objectives in less than 3 minutes to get 2 stars, or less than 1.5 minutes to get 3 stars. So here are our first incoming enemies. They are spitters as well, which is good for us because we're good against them. So I do like how they're not like just one cohesive unit. They don't just like, if you say go over here, they don't just all run over there, and if they attack something, they all attack. They do split themselves up, which is quite nice. Could be quite bad as well, I suspect, but that's all good. Ooh, why are you not? Why did you just run past us? Yeah, you're gone. So there's a guy down here we need to worry about. There's another one over there. There's another one coming in up there now. Does it show us how many we have remaining? So this is our overall health here, is it? So that's what we use. What is this? I'll just collect the white swarm, right? So maybe that's what pressing number 1 did. Oh, it's double clicking the 1. Now we'll do it. Pressing 1 does that. So now we can follow along with them without having to move the camera. But we want to move the camera because we want to see where this pesky beetle is, because he is going to cost us our 3 stars, look. Yeah, we've just lost our 3 stars. Is he the last one as well? No, he's not. Okay. It wasn't entirely his fault then. Okay, sorry for that brief break there, but victorious. I don't know where the video stopped there, but essentially it was we were done. With that last one we were running towards there was the last one, so apologies if it did cut out at all. So you can see we are victorious. We got 2 stars. Galsdacht is now very unhappy. Probably a little bit damaged. Needs some food. We got an egg for that. Is this all the stuff we got? Or do we just get one of these things? Depending on what we... No, I think we get all of these things, don't we? We get some XP, we get some goop, we get a cotton towel, we get a bed, which is lovely, and we get a couple of eggs as well, which is even better. So here is Galsdacht. He is unhappy, as we said. So he is... It says food, fun, rest, and grooming. I don't know which one that actually relates to, the first aid kit, but there we go. So we have another bed, so we should definitely put down our other bed, because we have 3 beetles now. Where is... Oh, there we go. So we'll put that one down over here. I'm going to keep the sort of similar beds together. I'm going to put down a sugar cube. We've got some more of that. We'll put down one of these as well, because we've got the burlap sack. We haven't got one of those. And again, I don't know why you wouldn't put down just everything. So we'll put down a couple of those. And some more rope stuff as well. But I'll leave the rest of it. I'll put down another pumpkin seed. So I wouldn't want a little bit of extra. Did he eat that sugar cube already? He did. Greedy little bugger. Oh, look at him. Look at him rubbing up against the cotton sack there. Wonderful. So we have more beds, and we have eggs we can hatch. I'm assuming. Oh, we have a new beetle, Zucchadi. And what does a Zucchadi look like? Not particularly good, I would say. Not very strong. A lot of health and a lot of regeneration again, though. So potentially breeding Zucchadi with Arugapi would give a heavily armored and healthy beetle. Interestingly, actually exactly the same stats there. Same with Aguprana and Galsdacht. Oh no, not quite the same, are they? I lied about that. They're a bit more average, that one there. So we have another egg, don't we? So let's have Zugrik as well, please. He's only a 1-star, but we'll take him on board, which means we're going to need another bed, but that's fine. We'll put another bed down. In fact, I'm going to put this one down over here as well. Can I move these ones they're in? Oh, I can. Perfect. I'm going to move that one. Oh, the beds get used up, do they? There we go. Okay, maybe a reason to not put all the beds down at once, but there we go. So we now have 2 juveniles left. Does that mean Aguprana has grown up? It does. Look at him. He looks glorious. Absolutely glorious. Talking to Arugupi there, one of his parents. We don't know which one is the mother, which one's the father. They are sexless beetles. We're not going to question how they breed. Okay, so let's take a look at the next mission, shall we? So now we've done that combat mission. You can see this is no longer contested, and we can now explore this area over here. We can also have a forager mission or a scavenger mission. So we've got 2 happy beetles. So let's go on a scavenger mission, shall we? So we can send either Aguprana. In fact, maybe let's not go on a scavenger mission because there's not a great chance of success. But saying that, there's no chance of injury or death, so I don't actually mind sending them along. So let's send Arugupi. Gone just for 1 minute. And then let's explore over here. Ooh, now this is a bit more interesting. So, this one actually has a chance of death and a chance of injury. So obviously the 2 young ones are not particularly well suited. Oh, look at that. You can double click on them to get more information. Who knew? Galsdact, a 3% chance of death, and 19 of injury, and 35 of success. Same chance of death and injury for Aguprana, but a much higher chance of success. So let's say yes for that. Please don't die. Please don't die. So where do you see... Oh, so I see. So you have a certain amount of times you can do these missions here. So we can only do this one 20 times. Interesting. So how do you know... Juice the selected beetle? You can sacrifice your beetles? That's crazy. Oh, there we go. There's the little timer telling us how long they're going to be. So we can speed time up. We can watch them have some fun and sleep in some beds. And then in a couple of seconds, here he is. He failed to complete the task. Yay! Good job. Good job, Arugupi. Good job. So we are running low on beds. I think we might have too many beetles, you know. Let's go back to standard time. Let's put down these additional beds. I assumed those beds would last a little bit longer. I was much mistaken in that. We also have absolutely no food around as well. So let's get some food down as well. Because they're all going to be quite peckish, aren't they? There we go. Yeah, Zugrik in particular is still quite hungry, so he needs the food because he's a growing beetle, you know. Growing beetle. 7 seconds into Aguprana is back, so we'll wait for Aguprana to return. They've eaten all of the food, and they are still actually... Ooh, he succeeded! He succeeded in his task to discover the new area. So we get some XP for that. Don't know what the XP does. Haven't got a clue what the XP does. So we do need to think about the fact that our food and everything is quite limited at the moment, actually, isn't it? So let's pop back to the map screen then. If we just hit this, oh yeah, it just takes us straight to the breeding screen. Oh, we can't actually breed anymore. Actually, don't have a high enough level to breed more beetles. Interesting. So we do need, I think, to go on a... Oh, interesting. Oh, because he failed it. Because he failed the task, we didn't get anything for it, but he also didn't use up the chance to do it. Interesting. So, 100% chance for Arugupi to complete the foraging task. So we're going to do that. He'll be gone for a minute. I would like to do this one as well. So we'll send Aguprana, because that's got a 66% chance of completing that. And then we have this one here, we can send out someone to attack in this combat mission. Let's have a quick look at the combat mission. Chance of death on failure is at 0%, so I'm not too worried about sending someone out to do it. Who are we going to send? Well, who are we going to send? 42. I'm trying to look at the stats, quickness. Maybe we'll go with... I like the quickness stats. So it's going to be either Zugrik or Galsgat, and they both have very similar stats, don't they? So let's go with Zugrik. Let's go with 20 again. That seemed to stand us quite well last time. We'll hit begin. So it also tells you here, so the beetles in this area are quick, they are healthy, and they are perceptive. To tell us what kind of, well, supposed to be all we have are the jaws ones, so it doesn't really matter what kind of beetles there are. Let's just begin. Ooh. Do you know, actually, I wasn't expecting a different map for some reason. I just thought... So I put my lazy developer hat on. I thought it'd be the same map you would fight on every time, but no, that's nice. So we have a limited amount of time. We need to do it in less than 2 minutes to get the 3 stars. So we can see, oh, we have some ants. I also assumed we'd only attack other beetles, but no, we have ants that are attacking us. So all of those ants are now dead. Is there a way? Oh, you can, oh, there are. You can press options there. Mouse zoom sensitivity we'll put up, and we'll put all of the mouse sensitivity up. There's no keyboard one, unfortunately, but that's fine. Oh, there's a cheats. We won't hit that though. It's a little better. A little better. So we've lost about half of our ants. Our beetles. Look. There's nowhere we can go from there. So what are we looking to attack here? Ah, oh, the filthy cigarette butts on the floor. Oh, there's some over there, look. We need to get over there. How do we get over there? We should have done that first. We're not going to hit that 2-minute marker now, I don't think, are we? Oh, they just climb over the rocks. I wasn't oh, they're not climbing over the rocks. Oh, they are getting there slowly. I'd kind of wanted them to all be there a little bit more in a bigger group, rather than having to have a couple facing them on their own. But let's see how this goes. Is 20 beetles enough to complete this mission? It is just about. And we got 3 stars as well. Perfect. So we've got a lovely 1-star beetle here, known to possess perception. We have a mystery beetle. Doesn't have a little picture. Nice. We have some brains. Lovely. We have a red rock trophy, has some goop, and I assume some experience as well. Wonderful. And obviously Zugrik is very unhappy. Of course he is. But you'd expect that. You'd absolutely expect him to be pretty miserable there. Let's have a quick look at the map screen now. So yes, now we have this area here which has been explored. So I guess we can explore it again. So what does it say? Discovers other tasks or other activities in the same area. Yes, we could explore again to get, I assume, some scavenge and foraging tasks in that area, or we can move out to explore the other 2 areas we're now connected to. And obviously then, as you work your way through the game, I think there are about 18 of these, 18 I think it is, all the way up to this area here, whatever that's called. Awesome stuff, awesome stuff. We are so close to going up a level. We'll see if these 2 come back with anything. If they do, they might bring some experience as well. Perfect, that is exactly what happened. We can now have up to 8 beetles on our nest. We can now save up to 3 beetle appearances. That's interesting. So you can save a particular sort of genetic, cosmetic appearance. So we've got some nectar, we've got some blueberries, we've got a pet rock. I love there's a pet rock. A lot of goop. Crystals in stone. Oh, what does that do? And we just have some things just to make walls with. They're just decorations. That's interesting. If you get a bigger nest at any point. We don't really have many beetle spaces, which I guess is why you have the blender to sort that out. So we're still waiting. Oh, where did that experience come from? So we're still waiting for these 2 to come back. Interesting. What we don't have are any more beds. So I really hope they come back with something. There is no food that is down at all. So let's put down a blueberry. Let's put down some brains. And we'll put down some nectar as well. Our guppy completed their task, foraging, got some blueberries and some nectar even, wonderful. And Aguprana failed again. Lord. Let's put down a sugar cube as well. Let's put down another rock. We'd have 3 rocks now, and we'll put down this cube as well. We'll put that one down up here. And we have all these things with the red rock trophy we'll put down. And then we have these other cosmetic items as well. We'll put that one down up here, look. Wonderful. So, everyone's very happy. Oh, our Guppy is ecstatically happy. Look at him. Look at him go. I wanted to see, how do you then... there you go. So you can store here the look of a beetle. It includes all the genetics to reproduce the look. And you can apply those visual genetics to another beetle, which lets you get the looks and the stats of a particular beetle, which is interesting. I don't know if I'd actually ever do that, because I kind of like the randomness that you get with the genetic cosmetics. I like that. Interesting. What I will very quickly do is just hit control here and just see... Yeah, we have no 3 allele, because I'm looking at the blue bars here. There are no blue bars which extend further than the yellow marker. So we have no 4 or above allele markers in our colony yet. And these two actually have no unique alleles. So they have no stat which is actually the best in the nest. Is that because we have so many level 3 beetles, should we call them, with a maximum allele level of 3? That we've sort of ran out of unique alleles because of that. I think that's exactly what's happened. Yeah, that's exactly what's happened. So what you can see here then is what's saying at the blue markers here. So we know that the 3 is the highest we have. So we can see here that in this one here, for example, if we bred these two together, there's a relatively good chance, 50-50, that we'd end up with this one and this one not very good. But we know there's another beetle out there who has higher stats. So we can see the blue is 333 for those top alleles in that pair there. Interesting. Anyway, I think that's probably quite a good place to stop then. So that is Beetle Uprising. I will definitely come back and have a bit more of a play. I want to dive a little bit deeper into the genetic breeding of the game. So it is very, very interesting. We definitely need some more beds to do that though, don't we? Definitely need some more beds. If you've enjoyed this, feel free to check the game out on Steam. As I said, it's in early access at the moment, but it is being actively worked on again, which is wonderful. And Slug Disco, if you are a fan of Slug Disco and Empires of the Undergrowth, as I say, they have taken over the publishing of the game as well. So if you think you might enjoy it, you're probably going to help those out as well, aren't you, if you do pick it up. Massive thank you to Slug Disco for providing me a key to take a look at the game. Really appreciate it, really enjoyed it. And I thought, I see him just pushing him around. As I said, we'll come back and take another look at this at some point soon. Hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, do click the like button. That's hugely, hugely appreciated. Comment, subscribe, all those good things. Ongoing apology that I'm still trying to deal with the life of having a newborn baby in the house. So videos are few and far between. Streaming stopped for the moment, but I will try and get back to normal as soon as I humanely can. So when I get back to streaming, hopefully I'll see you there. That'll be on Wednesdays at 6 PM. But as I say, it might be a few weeks till we get back to that. Otherwise, I will see you next time in Beetle Uprising. And as always, well, thank you very, very much for joining me.